Hello, my name is Kaden Foreman. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I attended IDA UK in the fall of 2021 on a gap year experience. I just went for the first semester of that year, so kind of August to December, as much as I would have loved to stay for the whole year. However, after coming back from IDA UK and taking some simultaneous online classes at the same time, I ended up coming to Rollins College, which is in Orlando. It's a Division two NCAA Division two school that competes in the Sunshine State Conference, which is arguably known as the best conference in Division two. And from there, I was lucky enough to receive a soccer scholarship to come to this school, which is where I am now a senior, finishing up my last season and completing my MBA at the same time after already graduating from Rollins with my undergraduate degree in business management. My story with IDA really started in 2020, which was my main motivator to kind of look at other options that were different to the standard high school, club, and college process in America. COVID-19 pandemic was really affecting the way coaches were recruiting, and me and my family thought it was a great idea to look at alternatives. I was also quite young for my age, or for my grade, sorry, so this was another benefit of, the idea of a gap year. When looking at a few different programs, IDA UK really stuck out, and we had some great conversations with some of the coaches, the staff, and the people at IDA that really made it a no-brainer, and ultimately proved to be one of the best decisions that I made, that I've made in my life. It led me down a great path, and I had absolutely no regrets and learned so much along the way. And given that the fact that the college soccer player continues to kind of get older and older every year, uh, the gap year for me was again a no-brainer to kind of get an extra year of experience. In terms of the training and competition that I experienced at IDA UK, it was a direct correlation to my early success as a Rollins player in the college soccer environment. The overall level that I experienced at IDA UK, that was mostly driven by the coaches and my teammates, um, was was very high, and again very key to me coming into my first season in college soccer and being as successful as I was. Um, Playing and training, and playing in games and training against people who were 5+ years older than me at the time when I was 17 when I went over there, um, really prepared me to kind of adjust to the extra physical demands of the college game. And there was no shying away in the environment at IDA UK, which really made you grow into the game and prepared you for something that was going to be at the next level, which for me was at Rollins and in NCAA Division two. I believe the average age in our Sunshine State Conference is, upwards of 23 years old of the players that you're playing against, and so this again was very big for me to come in and make an immediate impact on the team and be as successful as I was. Not to mention the pressure aspect of playing in, high magnitude under 23 games in England, again with people older than me, and games that meant a lot really helped me prepare for high stake conference games and NCAA tournament games that I played in and started in as a freshman here in my first year at Rollins. So again, direct correlation and really helped me prepare to be very successful as I went into my first year at Rollins. In terms of memorable experiences and lessons I learned while I was over at IDA UK, I mean, the the list is endless, and there's countless experiences that I can recall um, that made this experience such a joy that I would give up almost anything to go back and do it again. Um, whether it was the people in the housing that I was with, experiences that I had on the field with coaches and teammates, or the planned group experiences going on, excursions and trips together as an academy, or just little trips that we would take on our own on off days with the rest of the boys in the academy. Really just made the experience unforgettable. It taught me so many different lessons about hard work, even dealing with people from around the world, which was a joy, and really opened my mind up to so many different things, and really made the move easier. The idea of dealing with uncomfortability, really stuck with me and was a key lesson I learned. And that, no growth comes without uncomfortability. And this is kind of a lesson I've taken into my 4 years of college and has really helped me grow and become a leader on my team and in the classroom at Rollins, is because, I took this step of kind of leap of faith to move across the world at 17 years old, and maybe an uncomfortable environment at first, but I grew so much in that environment alongside some amazing people, again from around the world, and supported by a great staff and great role models as coaches, and really helped me learn so many key valuable lessons both on and off the field that helped me grow as a player and a person. Again, really setting me up for great success at my school, Rollins, again in the classroom, on the field, and now as I look to become a young professional. In terms of the recruitment process, specifically to Rollins and how I found it, I was actually interested in another school in our conference very heavily at the time, who were doing really well, making far runs into the NCAA tournament. That school kind of fell through, and I was looking at other schools in the conference and reached out to Rollins. And just so happened that one of the coaches at Rollins, which was a full English coaching staff, happened to know Peter, who was really helping me along in the recruiting process. At the time, Peter and I would have weekly meetings to kind of make sure that I was responding to coaches, reaching out to coaches in the appropriate way, or maybe he would kind of debunk some emails I would get back from coaches and what they really meant. And then also he ultimately led to my connection at Rollins, which was massive, because anymore this game is kind of a who you know rather than what kind of player you are. And so Peter luckily knew one of the coaches and was able to get me down to Rollins for a trial in the spring after I come back from IDA UK. And again, due to my great preparation on the field with a great staff and teammates at IDA UK in the semester before, I was able to perform on the trial, and it led to me having an offer before I even stepped off the field at the trial with the Rollins team, and then led to me in the following fall having an immediate impact on the team as a freshman. So yeah, Peter was a great help in kind of setting up the recruitment opportunity at Rollins, and then the staff and the level I played at in England really helped me make an impact on the field and show the coaches what I was really about. In terms of challenges that I faced transitioning kind of from my gap year to college soccer, or even from high school to college soccer, I think a lot of people immediately kind of go to the jump in level on the field, and in terms of demands and practices and stuff, and playing with better people and older people. But I think actually the biggest challenge for any sort of gap year student or freshman coming into college is balancing the demands of a student athlete life. You have to balance all your classes and all the increased demand and schedule with that soccer brings as a college athlete, especially at a high level. And so I think the intense schedule at IDA really helped me prepare for that transition and made it seamless for me, which allowed me to put more focus on my time on the field to again have a really good initial impact on the team in my first year. Um, the schedule at IDA UK was amazing for me, a couple trainings a day or a training and gym session, and I was also doing some online classes at the time, so I stayed in the rhythm of school, and it really made this transition into balancing all the different things that college student athlete life has to offer really easy. And again, really did lead to my success both in the classroom and on the field. As now at the end of my 4 years, I will graduate with, again, not only an undergraduate bachelor's degree, but also an MBA. And, I've played over 5,000 minutes for Rollins. So I think the transition in my gap year at IDA UK, in terms of the structure and the schedule that they, made us go through and the high demands that they had for us, really helped me directly transition and make an impact on the field, while also continuing to be able to have good grades and keep a high standard in the classroom for myself. If I had to give any piece of advice for anyone considering a gap year at IDA UK, my advice would be 100% do it in any way you can. Even if this means through a shorter couple week or month experience, or a half term like I did, or if you're lucky enough to commit to the full year, 100% do it or find any way to do it that you can because um, it will be, again, one of the best decisions you make in your life if you make the most of it, as I did. This was something that changed my life, forever going forward. And in terms of the people I met and lessons I learned that I spoke about, um, this was again something I would do over and over again if I had to, go back to the end of my senior year of high school. I would make this decision over and over again. It will create lifelong memories and relationships again on and off the field. And it also sets you up perfectly to meet whatever your goal is for the next step of soccer or any education or anything professionally. The staff there and the people around you really create a great environment to help support you to meet any of the goals on and off the field, and really creates an environment where, if you work hard, your hard work will be rewarded. And I was lucky enough that, I was one of those people who worked hard, and I've had an incredible 4 years now after IDA UK at Rollins, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world. So my advice would be do it in any way you can because the people you meet there and the environment that you um, kind of are a part of at IDA UK is one that, can't be traded for anything. My journey in soccer has definitely changed and shifted over the last few years. And IDA was a big part of that and will always continue to be a big part of it. In terms of my future aspirations of soccer, I think due to a few injuries, continuing to play the game after college, maybe at a professional level or semi-pro level, may have to wait a few years if I decide that's something I want to take on later down the line. However, my involvement with soccer will never leave, and again, it's based on the relationships that I built, especially at IDA UK. I'm still in touch with so many of the guys and the staff that I met there. I even went and was able to intern at IDA for a period of time on the business side of things, just given that my interests kind of were shifting, um, you know, some way through my educational journey at Rollins. So, while my future aspirations in soccer as a player, or even, at one point as a coach have shifted. The relationships I've built and the memories and lessons that I've made and learned will definitely never leave me. And I kind of be more thankful for IDA um, and the part that they played in this journey, which is pretty crazy that it's now coming to an end in terms of playing ways, at least competitively for a few years. So yeah, incredibly thankful to IDA, and I hope that anybody else that goes through this journey experiences the same levels of joy and incredible memories and relationships that I was able to make and build during my time there that carried me through my 4 years at Rollins College, which has been incredible.